Hi, and welcome to my studio. My name is Ruben Sinha. This is a short video that will just sort of take you through my three areas of work that I'm currently pursuing in ceramics. The first is a series of ceramics that's inspired by these little clay teacups that you used to get in India when you would travel by train. Some of you may remember them. So for me, they've always associated to the taste of hot Indian masala chai, and they would be sold on the trains and also on the station platforms in these small pit-fired red clay cups. The idea was that you would drink your tea, which usually costs between 5 and 15 pesa, and then you just throw it back on the tracks and it would disintegrate and return to the earth. So this series pays an homage to those disposable cups that have long since they've all but vanished and have been replaced by these cheap plastic cups which now litter train tracks that go across the country. My second series is a series also inspired by my childhood in India, where we drank water that was stored in earthenware pots, and they were common to almost every house that I remember in my childhood. The water stored in these clay pots, which we called surahis, remained cool throughout the day, and it had a flavor that it acquired from the clay pot itself. So from the very beginning, I wanted to recreate some of those pictures, but I struggled with throwing forms that were large enough to hold more than 2 gallons. Unless, of course, I figured out I could throw it in sections, and once I started throwing in sections, I started playing with the idea, well, why not put different pieces of different curvatures and sizes and shapes together to create new combinations? I was interested in breaking the continuity of a single form shape and creating an outline that had a musical pattern of its own. My third series that you're going to see here is our hand-built spiral jars, and these vessels are made by pinching long, thin strips of wet clay into spirals moving up around the form. Where the strips are pinched together, I call the spine of the vessel, and the overall shape, which is apparent more from a distance, I suppose, I refer to as the form of the vessel. So in some pieces, I will work with a single strip that winds upon itself going up to create the whole piece, while in others I may have 2, 3, or up to 5 strips that are all building the vessel together, and the difference is obvious in the angle of incline of the strips and the sense of movement in the piece. Sometimes I work slowly, looking for balance between the spine and the form, allowing the two to breathe together. In others, I move more spontaneously, allowing the moisture of the clay and my own mistakes to control the movement of the jar. For me, there is something extremely meditative about building these forms and working in clay. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.